What is up, everyone? It's David. Welcome back to Gem and MTG, where we talk about graded Magic the Gathering cards. So today's going to be a little bit different of a day. I just need to rant. I just need to talk about some of the issues that I've been having lately with grading that have really got to me. And honestly, it took me a while to make this video. I took a few days off of YouTube just to kind of collect my thoughts and my feelings on the subject because I was pretty heated. And I don't normally get like that, especially with grading. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know, I roll with the punches and I don't really let it get to me. But there's just something about what's been happening lately that it just doesn't feel right. And so I kind of stewed about it and gathered my thoughts, and I just want to talk about them with everybody today. So that last video that I did about Boseiju, that was like the tipping point for me. I had issues with a couple of orders prior to that, but nothing too egregious that really really bothered me that much. But that Boseiju order, there just was something that didn't feel right about it. And in the moment when I was unboxing it, I do those live. I really do those live. I don't edit anything. I record and I put it up. So when you do stuff like that, a lot of times you'll go back and you'll see something that you didn't see or feel something you didn't feel, after you've kind of taken it all in and taken some time to think about it. And after I went through the cards, when the camera was off, did I expect to get a 10? Honestly, no, I didn't. I mean, I've graded a lot of cards. I've never got a 10. I didn't expect to get a 10. But I thought it'd be fun, to kind of do for a video. And I still think that one day, I'll continue the pristine quest. But that day's not going to be anytime soon. Because I think I'm done with Beckett for a while. I really am. And this Boseiju order is what did it for me. And I'll get to it. What I realized after going through the cards, and I have them right here, there's not a single 10 subgrade on any of these cards. Not one. Not one. Not on centering, edges, corners, surface. There were none. You're telling me on 10 pack fresh cards that were immaculately taken care of, there's not a single 10 subgrade? How? It didn't feel right, and I didn't realize it at the time when I was going through the cards live. I didn't realize that, I have to, keep the video going along, talking, going through the cards, opening things up, like, there's a lot of stuff you don't think about, but I spread all the cards out, left to right, worst to best grade, not a single 10 subgrade. The 9.5 wasn't a quad. Once again, I get this plethora of 9 quad plus pluses. And it just didn't feel right. It felt, I don't know if like biased is the right word, or the grader was inexperienced, or there's some type of, quote unquote population control going on. And that's a whole other topic that I've really thought about is population control, and how I may have just experienced that with this card. And it just didn't feel right. And when you're spending a lot of money, which this is not cheap. It's not cheap to grade 10 copies of Boseiju. Each one of these is like, when you factor in the cost of shipping and insurance, it's like 60, 70 bucks a pop. That's $700. I could have bought an Underground Sea or a Gaia's Cradle for the price of grading these cards. And am I going to advocate for this service as I do on this channel for results like this, I can't do that with good faith, and I try to always be open and honest on this channel for better or worse. You know, I've had some, you know, controversial opinions on stuff, but I try to be honest about what I think and what I feel. And for the most part, I have been very supportive of Beckett, possibly to a fault. I remember when I started this YouTube channel. This is a true story. When I started this YouTube channel, I had somebody send me this long message about how I was actually a Beckett employee, someone that they set up. They set up my YouTube channel to get more people into grading Magic cards, and that I was some kind of Beckett shill employee. Honestly, somebody thought that because I was such a Beckett fanboy, and it was to me, I was like took it as a compliment, but I was like, wow, I admired the person's passion, but I was just like, no, I'm not. I like the product, I like the service, I like to talk about it. That's it. So I've definitely been giving Beckett the benefit of the doubt for a long time, but this order was just atrocious, and to me, a waste of my money and my time. I'm happy to have the cards. I'm glad at least there was one 9.5, but I feel like there was a problem that caused the grades to be, you know, not completely accurate. I don't think there's any way that out of these 10 cards, only one was actually gem mint. And none of them had anything that qualified for a 10 subgrade, and you know, only one would be gem mint, and then there would be all these 9.5 quad pluses. You know, 8 9s, and so many 9.5 quad pluses. It's like, I feel like it's population control, and they saw my order come in, and maybe it's a combination of population control and a newer grader who, you know, oh, I don't want to give out a 10 subgrades or anything like that, or oh, I don't want to put too many 9.5s in my first order. But it just didn't feel right. And having no 10 subgrades was just the, like, that was it. Once I realized that, I was like, well, what am I doing here? What I can't even how many of these would I have to submit to you know, to even get close? And just as an example, it's not like I'm going to show you several cards that I've graded myself recently. There's a Tolarian Academy 9.5, 10 surface. Okay, this card is from 1998. I graded it myself, 10 surface. Here's a newer card, Fabled Passage, Extended Art Foil, just like the Beseiju. 9.5 quad, 10 edges. 9.5 quad plus. Here's a 9.5 quad Mox Amber, foil, also foil. Here's an old school foil Crucible of Worlds with 10 centering. All of these I graded myself recently. Eladamri, 10 centering. And I've got more. This is just like I picked up a stack of cards. This is just the first block of cards that I've graded that had 9.5 quads, had 10 subgrades. It's not like I don't know how to look at a card. I've been doing this for a while, and I know I'm not a professional grader, but I know enough to know that something didn't feel right about this order, and it really bothered me. The other thing that never made it onto this channel is I did a video about how I was submitting some high dollar old school cards. Alpha cards, unlimited cards, had a unlimited Mox Sapphire, Alpha Keldon Warlord, Collector's Edition Time Twister, the Abyss from Legends, and there was one other heavy hitter card. But this order was legit. This was, for me, this was a lot of money. And it wasn't just my cards, it was my brother's cards too. Cards that he's had forever. And I got that grading order as like a present to him for his birthday, because he never got his cards graded before. He knows I'm into it, obviously. But I was like, hey, I'll do this. I'll do this. And we'll get your cards graded, get them slabbed up. And I got that order back. We opened it up together. There was 5 cards. 3 of those cards got sent back ungraded. Okay? Ungraded. Just back to me in the plastic sleeves that I sent that said they were altered. Altered. Inked. Now, I had the same thing happen to me with that Urza Saga Lifeline that they said was trimmed, which is total BS. There's no way that card was trimmed. 0. None. It didn't happen. But these 3 cards that I submitted of my brother's were not inked. The cards weren't inked. We're talking about an Alpha Common, Keldon Warlord. I did all of the checks that I could on that one. There was no ink. I'm sure there was no ink. My brother has had that card forever. And there's no recourse. I'm trying to remember which the other 2 cards that were inked. But 3 out of the 5 cards just got sent back. No grade. This card is inked, and you still get charged for those. Okay, and you still pay the insurance on those. You still pay the shipping on those. So that was another order with just hundreds of dollars of wasted money. And that's literally wasted money. At least these are in a slab and it's a cool card. And I, for a 9 quad plus, I'll generally get my grading fee back. But like for those cards that didn't even get graded, that is literally just throwing money out the window. And that's not just like, $5 a card, $10 a card to grade. It's $50 a card to grade, plus $25 to $50 in insurance for insuring those expensive cards to make it to Beckett. And so between this Beseju order, between those 5 cards, between the Urza Saga Lifeline, I've had a lot of money. For me, what is a lot of money, in my opinion, just wasted. And it really bothers me when I look back and I'm like, gosh, I've probably wasted close to $1,000 in like grading fees and shipping and insurance for cards that were either not graded because they were altered, or they say they were altered, and cards that I felt like were just under or not accurately graded. Like I would put some of those Besejus in that camp. And I'm just like, what the hell? Why? This isn't good. I don't want to have this experience again. And I'm just done with Beckett for a little while. They got the new label coming out and the slab is changing, and I'm not saying it's going to be my last Beckett order, but sometimes something happens and you just need a change. And you need to do things differently, and take time to think about what's best for you in the future and all that stuff. And that's what I'm doing right now. I for a little while I'm not submitting to Beckett. There's a lot of new companies coming up, and I want to give them a try. I really do. I know that my collection is mostly it's mostly Beckett, but I have CGC, I have PSA, and there's some other newer companies coming along now that I want to give them a try. When you think about it in the grand scheme of things, is Beckett number 1? Yeah, I think that's fair to say. But there's a long time ahead of us. In this market, in this hobby, in this, life and everything. Like, you know, if you take a little bit of time at some point and try something different in the long run, I don't think there's anything bad about that, and it's I think it's healthy to do, and it's what I want to do. These last few orders with Beckett just didn't feel right. I think the grades were inaccurate. I think I got totally hosed with cards they said were altered. And I just feel like sometimes a company needs, you know, a kick in the butt to fix things. And that's where I'm at with Beckett. You know, I'm not sending cards off to be graded by someone who doesn't know what they're looking at, or someone who's gonna, you know, biasly grade cards to fit a certain standard or to fit a certain, you know, level of population control. And to be honest, the whole population control thing, I didn't believe it. Like I don't want to say I didn't believe it. I knew there was a chance that it was true. I just never felt like I directly saw anything that would make me feel strongly that it was true, you know? But this order literally felt like you're going to get 9.5 and that's it. That's what it felt like. And then whatever else it is, it is. That's what I felt like when going through this order. Is that 10 of the same card? All right, we'll do 9.5, probably the rest 9s, and throw in an 8.5. That's what it felt like. And that sucks. And another thing on that population control, I'll say just one more thing. The pop on this card is 11. Okay? My 10, and then one other. That one other is a 9.5. So, the other person who submitted a borderless foil Boseiju, their accuracy was 100%. Mine was 10%. Wow. How does that happen? So, anyway, I gotta wrap this video up. We've been rambling for a while, but I had just thought a lot about this and needed to collect my thoughts and say everything that I wanted to say about it, and do it after I had kind of cooled down. Because like I said, at first afterwards I was pissed. I was like, this was a waste. This was bullshit. And I just needed to sit down and think about it. And I thought, you know what? It is what it is. This is a hobby. This is a luxury. It's not the end of the world. But at the same time, like, I'm not just gonna keep, you know, walking into the Chuck Norris fist of Beckett. Yeah, I'm gonna change things up. I'm gonna try some different companies. I'm gonna do some different stuff for a while. So, you know, it might be 6 months to a year before I think about submitting to Beckett again. We'll see what these new cases look like, and, you know, the new label looks like, and I want to see how my experience is with other grading companies. There's so many new grading companies, and I want to give them a try. You know, this channel is all about diversity and checking out new things, and, you know, trying new stuff and looking at new companies and things like that. And, you know, I want to experience it. And, you know, what better time than now to try that out. So you'll see some videos coming up soon about, you know, my next submission, who I'm going to be submitting it with. I'm honestly not sure yet. I'm looking at CGC, maybe PSA, but I'm kind of leaning toward trying, you know, a newer company. And there's a lot to choose from, so I got some thinking to do. So anyway, thanks for sticking with me. I hope you enjoyed the content today. A little bit more of just kind of a long form discussion about this order and kind of the state of things. So anyway, I really appreciate you. If you're not already a subscriber here on Gemmint MTG and you enjoy graded Magic the Gathering content, hit that subscribe button and join in the fun, because we're going to be talking about graded cards all the time here on Gemmint MTG. And if you have any thoughts about, you know, Beckett's accuracy, Beckett's fairness, population control, anything like that, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm definitely interested to hear what you guys have to say about this, because, you know, for me, this was a big deal, and, you know, it's time to change things up. All right, till next time, Have a great one.